Hello everyone, I'm Mariam Tani. I'm a fourth-year chemical engineering student of Obafemi Awolowo University in Nigeria. And today I'll be giving a talk on affordable and clean energy. And this is the seventh of the Sustainable Development Goals. Okay, so what exactly is clean energy? Clean energy, as defined according to NCSCA, is the energy derived from renewable, zero-emission sources, as well as the energy saved through energy efficiency measures. By renewable energy, I mean energy that is gotten from natural sources or processes, and it is constantly replenished, and that is something that cannot run out. By energy efficiency, I mean the method of reducing energy consumption by using less energy to attain the same amount of useful output. At a global level, the percentage of people with access to electricity has been steadily increasing over the last few decades. At least in the 1990s, there were around 71% of the world's population that had access, but by 2020, that increased to 90%. So why exactly is affordable and clean energy important? Non-renewable fuels, like we all know as fossil fuels, they actually supply around 80% of the world's energy. When these fossil fuels are burned, they release carbon dioxide and other greenhouse gases, which in turn trap heat in our atmosphere, making them the primary contributors to global warming and climate change. So to curb these unpleasant effects, there is a need to switch to a less dangerous source of energy, which is the clean source of energy. So what are the types of this clean energy, that is the renewable energy? We have five major types, with the first being solar energy. Solar energy is gotten from the sun. As we all know, sunlight is one of our planet's most abundant and freely available energy resource. One amazing fact is that the amount of solar energy that reaches the Earth's surface in just 1 hour is more than the planet's total energy requirement for a whole year. Amazing, right? But actually, the amount of solar energy we can use varies according to the time of day, the season of the year, and even the geographical location. Then we have the wind energy. The wind is a plentiful source of clean energy. Wind's kinetic energy makes the turbines spin, and this creates a mechanical movement. Afterwards, a generator transforms this mechanical energy into electricity. There are several types of wind renewable energies. We have the onshore, the offshore, and even the floating wind turbines, but the operating principles are all the same. Harnessing power from the wind is one of the cleanest and most sustainable ways to generate electricity, as it produces no toxic pollution or global warming emission. Then we have geothermal energy. The slow decay of radioactive particles in the Earth's core, a process that happens in all rocks, produces this geothermal energy. The geothermal energy is the heat within the Earth. So by utilizing this natural heat below the Earth's surface, geothermal energy can be used to heat our homes directly or to generate electricity. Then we have hydropower. Hydropower is one of the most commercially developed renewable energy resource. Basically, it's gotten from the transformation of kinetic energy of water from rivers, dams, marine currents, or tides into mechanical energy by turbines. This energy source can often be more reliable than solar or wind power, and also it allows electricity to be stored for use when demand reaches a peak. Then lastly, we have the biomass energy. Biomass is actually made up of organic materials from plants or animals that contain stored energy. But the biomass energy itself is gotten from the conversion of these solid fuels made from the plant materials into electricity. Although biomass involves burning organic materials to produce electricity, nowadays it is a much cleaner and more energy efficient process. So by converting agricultural, industrial, and domestic waste into this solid liquid and gas fuel, biomass generates power at a much lower economic and environmental cost. So we all know that all good things might have a bad side. So let's talk about the negative impacts of clean energy. Although all energy sources have some impact on our environment, the non-renewable energy, that is the fossil fuels, they actually cause more harm than clean energy sources by most measures, including air and water pollution, damage to public health, wildlife. However, clean energy sources such as wind, solar, geothermal, biomass, and hydropower, like I mentioned earlier, they also have environmental impacts. For example, despite the vast potential of wind energy, there are a variety of environmental impacts associated with wind power generation that should be recognized and mitigated. This includes land use issues and challenges to wildlife and habitat. But although we have the negative impact of clean energy, we also have the positive impact, and we should note that despite all these environmental impacts, the clean energy technologies they compare extremely favorably to fossil fuels, and this is why they remain a core part of the solution to climate change. So the positive impact of clean energy have less global warming, then we have the inexhaustible energy because the strong winds, sunny skies, abundant plant matter, heat from the earth, and fast moving water can each provide a vast and constantly replenished supply of energy. Then we have jobs and other economic benefits. The clean energy industry is actually more labor intensive than its fossil fuel counterparts, and this means on average greater job creation. Then we have the stable energy prices. Then we have, lastly, the reliability and resilience. Wind and solar are less prone to large-scale failure because they are distributed and modular. By distributed, I mean they spread out over a large geographical area. So a severe weather event in one location does not damage or cut off power in the entire region. Then by modular, I mean they are composed of numerous individual wind turbines or solar arrays. Even if some of the equipment of the system is damaged, the rest can still function and continue to operate. So I'd like to end with this quote from Gloria Ruben, which says, a transition to clean energy is about making an investment in our future. Thank you.